$19,000 was spent on a podium. I think lectern is the most appropriate word or accurate word, but there it is.
If you're astonished and offended by a $19,000 podium, and maybe you should be, wait till I tell you about the federal government. But why are we focused on a $19,000 podium? Is this part and parcel of a larger issue?
The Arkansas Legislative Joint Auditing Committee met today to discuss the audit that investigated the purchase of a $19,000 lectern by the governor's office.
The report specified 7 instances in which the governor's office may have violated state laws by altering public records and failing to comply with Freedom of Information requests concerning the controversial podium, among other potential infractions. For example, 2 versions of the same invoice for the podium were provided in response to a FOIA request, but one copy differed in that the words "to be reimbursed" had been written on it.
It shows that the podium and travel case are real, that their cost was not unreasonable, that the podium was built to specific height requirements.
On your side, I'm Andrew Mobley.
Breaking news, the details on that audit for the $19,000 lectern purchased by the Arkansas governor's office. 5 News reporter Rachel Williams has the latest now on what today's report is revealing.
Now the Arkansas Legislative Audit Committee is releasing the report on the lectern purchase. The report notes that the payment for the podium before it was delivered resulted in a potential violation of state code. According to the audit, prior to the FOIA request related to the podium purchase, there was no indication that the governor's office was seeking reimbursement for the cost of the podium and road case.
$19,000 for a lectern that I'm not sure has been used once since its purchase, I think is just absolutely egregious.
Alexa Henning, the governor's spokesperson, says, quote, "The facts outlined in the report demonstrate what the governor's office said all along. We followed the law, and the state was fully reimbursed with private funds for the podium at no cost to the taxpayers." We posted the results of the audit online. If you want to look through it yourself, just head over to 5newsonline.com for the latest updates. Rachel Williams, 5 News.
This afternoon, the audit regarding the podium purchase was officially released. 60-plus pages in length, going over every step of the podium purchase, including paying for the podium before it was delivered.
And the professor we spoke with says that the audit is not the end of the podium situation, and this could go on for weeks or even months and could possibly end up in court as well. Reporting live in Northwest Arkansas, Jacob Murphy, 4029 News.
Arkansas Legislative Joint Audit Committee has completed its deep dive into the podium audit released on Monday. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight at 6. I'm Chad Mura.
And I'm Chelsea Helms. The committee met today to ask questions and get a better understanding of the more than 60-page audit. It's about the controversial $19,000 lectern purchased by Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders. KNWA's Damara Hale is in studio with us tonight. Damara.
Senators asked questions such as where the podium is currently located and how people can find it, can see it. But there were also questions asking whether the amount of the podium was too much. Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders' team says approximately $11,500 is, quote, within market value of similar podiums. They also said they spent more than $2,500 for customizations. The audit also highlights multiple potential violations of Arkansas code, including operating expenses used to pay for the podium and failing to make the Department of Transformation and Shared Services aware of the delivery. You can find the full audit in details on our website. In studio, Damara Hell, KNWA Northwest Arkansas
A
News.
packed hearing room at the Capitol today as lawmakers get their chance to dive into the audit of that $19,000 lectern purchase.
So I want to read through a list of some of the things that the audit said may not be in compliance. That includes how the lectern was bought and if the amount was reasonable. Who owns the podium right now? Now, the big question of today also was, where is the lectern now? I haven't seen it, and a lot of media says they haven't seen it, but the governor's office said it has been open for any requests. However, they have not answered any of our previous requests to see the lectern.
Sarah, I saw the Attorney General's office was there on the podium with the governor's office and defending what the governor did. So I guess it's safe to say they're not going to bring any charges.
Well, the Arkansas Legislative Audit Committee and state officials gathering today to talk about the audit into Governor Sanders' lectern that has sparked conversation amongst Arkansans since, well, pretty much last September.
It's been going on for a while. 5 News reporter Kayla Davis listened in on the committee meeting today, and she's got the latest. Hey, Kayla.
The report from the Arkansas Legislative Audit found 7 instances of potential noncompliance with state law on behalf of the governor's office, including shredding the document with details of the podium shipment and disposing the podium in case without official processing. Kayla Davis, 5 News.
We're starting off with some breaking news. We're now getting our hands on the audit into that $19,000 lectern purchased by the Arkansas governor's office.
Now, in just the past hour, the Arkansas Legislative Audit Committee released a report on the lectern purchase. According to the report, the committee found 7 areas of potential non-compliance with state law. The report notes that the payment for the podium before it was delivered resulted in a potential violation of state code. Rachel Williams, 5
To
News.
the AP, the audit into Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders' $19,000 podium purchase is expected to be made public by next Friday. A previous report said officials purchased the podium with a state credit card at a significantly higher price than similar podiums in June of last
With
year.
that breaking news, the audit for the $19,000 podium that was purchased by Governor Sarah Sanders' office has been released.
The audit says that the governor's office was potentially not compliant with state laws, altering an invoice for the podium, writing on the invoice, quote, to be reimbursed. The governor's office did release a statement this evening saying that no laws were broken and that the state was fully reimbursed with the private funds for the podium. In the newsroom, Jacob Murphy, 4029 News.
It's a $19,000 podium, or lectern. We begin tonight with developing news out of the state capitol. A lectern purchased by Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders' office now has lawmakers asking for an audit. Questions about the $19,000 podium have emerged ever since blogger Matt Campbell discovered it and published emails about it.
Happening today, the controversial podium purchased by Governor Sanders' office takes center stage for a group of lawmakers at the state capitol.
Now, here's what you need to know this morning. The governor's office bought this custom blue and wood paneled lectern. That was back in June for $19,000.
But we will stay on top of this following it and bringing you the latest details on if they move forward with an audit for this podium purchase. For now, reporting live from the Capitol, Michaela Johnson for Wake Up Central.